Welcome to the 11th devlog for Above the Fold, newspaper simulation game in the making. So this is Game Maker Studio 2, the engine I'm using, and I'm just going to start the game up and talk about some of the new changes. So I've changed some of the graphics, the button graphics and the fonts and stuff like that. I've incorporated a little bit more graphics from Kenny Studios. If you're not familiar with them, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Nothing much has changed on this particular screen, which I introduced in the last video. If you didn't see that one, you can watch that in the playlist that's also associated, or I'll throw a link in. I'll hire some reporters and assign some stories. Hire this guy, Patrick Collins. Yes, please. Assign this story to Patrick. And what you'll see here now is a small change is that Patrick has a little star next to him now. Compare that to Nadia here, who has a story but no star. The star means that I assigned a story to Patrick that meets one of the two genres that he prefers to write about, in this case local news and arts and culture. So I'm just gonna hire a few more people. I'm hiring these reporters, but I'm not assigning stories first. I'll assign a story after. Wait. Let's see here. The story. You need a story. So right now it looks like everybody has a story, but only one of them, and that's Patrick, as a star. So I could try to find, you spend the remaining time here of my first day before deadline to try to find more stories that match up with their interests. Because of course, if you match up with the interest, you'll get a higher score at the end, which will make you more likely to attract more new subscribers, advertisers, win awards, and all that stuff later on in the game. So you may want to take some time when you're playing the game to sort of see, okay, so this is a science story. Do I have anybody who likes science? Don't. Okay. What else we got? Sports. Pretty sure I saw somebody who likes sports. Yep. So I can replace the story. Boink, and now you see the star appears. Okay, so I'm going to speed up time a little bit. And you can see that here, the game speed. Which really only applies to this screen here. Alright, so the time is up and we're in this screen. So there's some changes here as well. You'll notice that, again, the fonts have changed, the icons have changed. This is more of Kenny Studio graphics. And there's some information over here. So most of this is placeholder. But once I start transferring stories, you can see that, first of all, there's not room for all of them. So I'll have to pick one that doesn't go on there. You'll see the issue importance, that's the total score, and depending on where you place them, position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the score gets a bonus. You can actually see it here in the debug notes here. So the story that's here, Theater Production Over Jobs, had a base score of 274, which is now 685 because of its placement. And of course it goes down and down and down, and stories that don't fit on the front page, such as this one, won't get scored at all. That will probably change later, so you get some score for every story that you write, but for now, only the 5 top stories will affect your score for your individual issue. And then of course you can move stories around and try to optimize your score while you still have time to change it. I think actually this was a really good one to have in the top position. But you can see maybe these two might change the score for the better. Yeah, we got a few more points out of it. We have 10 seconds left, so you can keep, again, tweaking and min-maxing until you get the best possible result. And of course, this, once it's no longer a placeholder, will also update with depending on how you put your stories together and prioritize it. So you can have sort of a larger strategy for your game and follow that here. And sometimes maybe the score is not as important as that overall strategy. Once, of course, time is up or you hit the print button, it takes you back to the office where you'll manage a bunch of things from your newspaper, which of course have not yet been been developed, so you can't do that. And then once you're ready to start a new day, you simply start a new day. Boom, you're back to the map. You can now see issue 2, day 2. We haven't gotten any new subscribers, advertisers, or anything like that because that's not implemented yet either. I can start flicking through the reporters though. You can see that we hired in the last day, and we can start again assigning stories. Might be a good idea to then lower the game speed while you're assigning your stories to make sure that you assign good stories to fit your staff. This one. A little bugged. There we go. Okay. That's it pretty much for the 11th devlog. Some good progress. I will say this just from playing it. The addition of these little icons here. If you get a mismatch, by the way, you'll get a red exclamation point that shows, oh, this is a mismatch, and you'll get a lower score if you proceed with having this reporter finish that story. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this round, and I'll be back next week with another update. If you enjoyed this one, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up on YouTube. That greatly helps. Thank you very much, and see you next time.